have taken place where young people have been shot on these lanes and this lane over here.
That brought me down, that one. I threw both my legs, that's that boat.
Well, we were in a fight between dissident Republicans and warring gangs, but it wasn't going to be the last.
A small but active minority of dissidents in both Northern Ireland and in the Republic. What's left of the IRA is split into opposing factions, such as the Continuity IRA and the Real IRA.
Go on, Kiva! Give her next to you there, girl! Kiva knows how to let her rip, alright. She must be the best fiddle player in Ireland, if not the whole world. That's no word of a lie. Go on, Kiva, you girl, you. Well, there's nothing like Paddy's Day in Ireland for the crack, and me, Eamon and R.L. Mucker Joe are in the pub drowning our shamrocks. Aye, the Guinness is in full flow. The music full on. Local musicians playing their hearts out, full shooting the board. Go on, Kiva, yeah. Fiddles, flutes, borons, you fucking name it, we fucking got it. There's tourists, there's people coming from all over the world to join in the crack. You see, if I had my way, Ireland would be like this, all day, every day, and I mean the whole 32 counties. Up the fucking Republic! Suddenly a clock, this lovely looking cutty who's just come in with a couple of friends. Watch as she walks to the bar. She catches me looking at her. I just pretend I'm looking around the place all innocently. For some reason, she seems to stand out from everyone else, and I can't take my eyes off her. Holy fuck. It's like everything's in slow motion. It's like we're in a fucking Meatloaf video. She looks like a sort of hippie chick, all hair and bangles and beads. You know. The musicians finished playing. Fucking matey! Fucking great! Give us a song there, Pádraig, shouts Kiva. Aye, now the musicians are calling on me to take a turn. Aye, all eyes are on me. The pressure's on, even Hippie Chick and her friends are looking down in expectation. As Joe says, are you a man or a mouse, Pádraig? Come on, squeak to me. Alright. You bastard. Once upon a time there was Irish ways and Irish law, villages of Irish blood, waking to the morning, waking to the morning. I open an eye just a wee bit to see if the Hippie Chick's looking down. She is. We need to give this my all here. Cromwell and his soldiers came, started centuries of shame, but they could not make us turn. We're a river flowing. We're a river flowing. Another quick look. Still looking. Looks like she's enjoying it too. Come on, Pádraig, put some fucking heart into it. So come on. 800 years we have beaten down the secret of the water sound, has kept the spirit of man above the pain descending. Above the pain descending. One more look, still looking good. Today the struggle carries on. I wonder will I live so long to see the gates being opened up to a people and their freedom. A people and their freedom. Oh, once upon a time there was Irish ways and Irish laws. Villages of Irish blood, waking to the morning, waking to the morning. I open my eyes, all surprised, like I've just been beaten back to the earth from another planet. Thanks. Thanks. Ah, we nod over to them tourists. Ah. That was fucking brilliant, Pádraig, says Joe. And then Kiva, she pipes up, Pádraig, you should go on the X Factor, for you blow the shit out of the whole lot of them. And a well-oiled Eamon, he laughs extra loud at this, and then looks at me all wide-eyed, as if he's just realised that the X Factor would indeed be a legitimate target. It should maybe be our next mission. Funnily enough, I'd be in agreement with them on that one. Well, it's fairly saying a wee party piece goes down well, and it's just as well because the pub is packed to the rafters with punters from all over the place. And I'm thinking hippie chick's timing couldn't have been better. And while the boys don't so much as bat an eyelid, I just keep watching her. And then, sure as fuck, down she comes with her friends. She sits right next to me. And the boys are chatting away, but I can't hear what they're saying. I'm just nodding in agreement because all I can smell is the perfume and the fresh air of hippie chick. I'm not able to concentrate on anything else. Hippie chick and her friends are a wee bit worse for wear. Since we are too, the chatting begins straight away. Now I can concentrate. Now I'm in my element, going 90 to the dozen, doing what I do best, chatting shite like it's nobody's fucking business. And Joe joins in, and so does Eamon. For a while anyway. For I can tell it won't be long before old Grumpy Hole himself starts getting obstreperous. See, once he's had enough drink in him, and the mercury tilt switch is activated, that's it, forget about it. But for now, the girls are lapping it up. Hippie chick in particular seems to be enjoying the crack. We introduce ourselves. Gorka, she says. Gorka Bidar. It's Spanish. We cozy up to each other for a wee chat. And somehow, from this moment on, I can tell we're going to be together for a very long time. Like this is fate or some sort of bollocks like that. But as the night goes on, Eamon gets more and more drunk. And he starts to turn. And soon it's all, sure, what the fuck do you tourists know? And all this aggressive stuff, mainly directed at Gorka, but she just ignores him. Water off a duck's back, she must have seen it all before. This just annoys Eamon even more. Her friends are getting more uncomfortable. It's time to call it a night, eh? Before it's ruined. So we say goodbye to Gorka. We exchange numbers. Promise to meet up. A horn beeps, their taxi's outside. I tell her I'll walk her out to the taxi. And as I go to the door, I can hear Eamon and Joe at the slagging. Don't be doing anything I wouldn't do, says Joe. Give her one for Ireland, says Eamon. Fucking stupid pricks. Outside, we kiss to the sound of smashing glass, shouting, and the wail of a distant siren. And the girls climb in the taxi. Goodbyes are quickly said. And I float off home. With Gorka. Wow. It's a sellout. I'm on the run. I'm on the hide. There's peelers everywhere, filming, taking photographs, no doubt. They're saying what we're doing here is illegal. Yes! Fuck the revolution! Fucking Brits out! Just want to know why I'm on the run. Well, basically, it's because you can't take a shit in Derry, but everybody knows about it. It wasn't long before me sister saw me and Gorga out together. And of course, she told me ma. And then it was all, who's the wee woman? You kept that queer and quiet. How long's this wee romance been going on for? Is there any sign of wedding bells yet? Guantanamo Bay wouldn't have fucking looking. Anyway, my ma, my sister and her husband Kieran, they all wanted to get down to Dublin for the Easter celebrations, together as a family. And Gorka wanted to go too. What a fucking handling, eh? So, I told my ma that I was going down to Dublin with Gorka. I told Gorka I was going down with my family that had been planned for ages. Just hope my sister and Gorka don't bump into each other. See, I don't recognise any of those official Easter celebrations. Celebrate what? That Ireland's still partitioned under British military rule? But just because it's 100 years on from the Easter Rising, we're all supposed to be celebrating like good Irish citizens? Fuck that. So here we are at our alternative Easter celebrations. And I'm trying my best not to get photographed or filmed and spotted on the news by my ma, my sister, or even Gorka. I don't give a fuck about the Peters, really. They don't bother me at all. It's more for my family's sake. They wouldn't like to see me here. Especially my sister. Anyway, Joe says it's best that we don't draw any attention to ourselves. We don't want the Peters to see our faces. So, we find ourselves a wee quiet corner. We're trying our best to stay in the background. If the Easter celebrations are about anything, they're about reaffirmation. And that's exactly what me, Eamon and Joe were doing here. Reaffirmation of the cause, not fucking selling out. Fucking Rick! We're back at Joe's. The drink's flowing, the music's on. Now we can celebrate in our own way to our heart's content without anybody to bother us. We're having a serious discussion. We're giving off about the peace agreement. And Joe is in top form. Any true Republican worth their salt would never accept the way things are now. The so-called peace agreement is a sellout to Republican principles, pure and simple. If you ask me, our dead Republican heroes must be turning in their graves. Does one know what I think? Does one my analysis of the situation? Aye, says Eamon straight away, always keen to please Joe. So we wait, Eamon with his mouth wide open, for words of wisdom from Mr. 1916 himself. Even though we know what's coming. But like I said before, it's about reaffirmation. Go ahead, Joe, I say, for Joe still needs to be invited to take the floor. He gets up and disappears out of the room. Me and Eamon look at each other wondering what the fuck he's playing at. But it's not long before he marches back in with a brush over his shoulder, wearing a black beret, dark glasses and a combat jacket, marching like he's on parade. He stands to attention and salutes. We stand to attention and salute back, laughing our bollocks off. Joe ceremoniously lays the brush to one side. Right, he says. Grabs himself by the coat collars, looking upwards, all statesman-like. Oh, follow this here and be phoned for the crack, says Eamon. Joe takes a scarf and wraps it around his face. We all go quiet. Fellow Republicans, the Easter Rising of 1916 is an unfinished revolution. We have entered into a period of discontinuity. The struggle has not ended. How can it? Once blood has been spilt for the ideal, then we've entered into an agreement. An agreement understood by one and all that there shall be no peace, no let-up, no compromise of that agreement, that aspiration, that dream, that goal of a free, united and independent 32-county republic. Me and Eamon look at each other. He's sounding good tonight. That goal has not been achieved. That goal has not been attained. And as long as there is any British presence on the island of Ireland, the struggle will never, ever go away. And history also tells us the Brits will never allow it. They too have spilt blood. They too have entered into the bargain. And they will never give up Ulster and allow a united Ireland until they are well and truly beaten. No, comrades. To suddenly stop the struggle is discontinuity. We do not believe in discontinuity. We believe in the continuing struggle for the cause. We believe in continuity. He pulls a gun from inside his coat. Me and Eamon look at each other. Fucking brilliant, we're thinking. He looks straight at the camera. Shocker yard, Eamon stops filming. We can't wait to get a look at it, see what it looks like. And right enough, Joe really does look the part. It looks fucking mighty, says Eamon, getting on like he's Steven Spielberg or something. It's fucking Oscar material there, son, I say. Joe winks at me from behind his back, knowing really I'm taking the piss, because Eamon can be like a big kid sometimes. Then Joe tells him to delete it. Eamon looks at him all disappointed, like he's just painted the Mona Lisa and shown it to his teacher, and the teacher's took one look at it and went, "That's shade, throw it in the bin." Let's put it up on the internet. Don't be so fucking stupid. Joe walks out of the room again. Eamon sits down and deletes the video. His dreams of a career in the film industry over. Ah well. Sure, it was good while it lasted. When Joe comes back in, he's carrying a bottle of potchie and 3 glasses. Eamon's face lights up immediately when he sees it. Joe likes to call it the pure drop. Gets it off a wee man up in Donegal. Since he fills our glasses, he starts talking about purity. About how we are the true inheritors of the men in 1916. About how there's a pure and direct line of descent from those whose blood was spilt during the Rising and ourselves. And we raise our glasses saying each time to the men in 1916 before slamming the glasses down in triumph, shouting, "Chuck it out," like it's fucking Holy Communion time or something. And then Eamon says, "I propose that when we do achieve a united Ireland, Joe becomes the first Taoiseach." I second that, I say. But Joe obviously likes the idea, because he says that he might hold us to that. And he says that that day is coming very soon. And we drink one more time. Chucky hard, Hello? Yes, Gorka. Here, I'm busy doing something. Can I phone you back later? Yeah, yes. Okay, yes, looking forward to it. All right. Okay, bye. Fuck off, Eamon. If you or Joe can't pull the women, don't be taking it out on me. It's a few weeks later. I'm in Joe's van with him and Eamon. We've a wee job to do. Eamon's making jokes to Joe as he drives about me and Gorka. They sound like jokes with pretty big fucking jags, if you ask me. I mean, he knows we're seeing each other now. And we get on like a house on fire. For fuck's sake, we can't keep our hands off each other. But he doesn't seem to like it for some reason. It's tough shit. I look at Eamon out of the corner of my eye as he chats away to Joe. I can't remember the last time he had a woman. Likes the booze too much. The cause is all that matters, is all he'll ever tell you. Well, sure, it's the same for me too. Doesn't mean you can't have a wee woman on the go, huh? Some fellas I know have 2 or 3 on the go at the same time. Have it down to a fine art, some of them. Anyway, you should know. It's just a fling. Sure, she's from Barcelona. She managed to get a job here for a year in Derry, of all places. She's more or less a tourist. A tourist. She's working in administrations at the university. Huh? In the languages department. And there's me, only a mechanic. A good one, mind you. Still, I can't believe my luck, eh? Never look a gift horse in the mouth, as the man says. But here, I'm just like Eamon too, right? Dedicated to the cause. Doesn't mean you can't enjoy yourself. I can't help it if women fight. A jolt knocks me out of my thoughts. We're on the wasteland. The van finally stops. Me, Eamon and Joe open up the back of the van, and lying there, probably shaking himself, is the wee shade who's been antisocial, drug dealing, terrorising the local community with joyriding. Get him out, says Joe. He's hooted and gagged, they shut him up, and we've taken him here, somewhere nice and quiet. Just to have a wee word. Eamon takes the hood off him, and all he sees staring back at him is the 3 balaclavas. He clocks the hurley stick in my hand. He knows what's going to happen. Do you have anything to say for yourself before this court passes sentence? What the fuck he's picking on me for? I didn't fucking do anything. After today, there'll be no more dealing drugs or stealing cars. Why don't you put penalty points in my license too, eh? You smarters too, eh, man? This court finds you guilty. I'm looking at the wee man and I'm thinking all he should be getting is a warning. It's his first offence, really, and he's only about 15. So I pull the boys out of earshot. Can we not just give him a warning this time? You're going soft. He's a wee shit and everybody knows it. Eamon goes over to the wee man, grabs him by the legs, pulls him forward. Fuck's sake, Eamon, there's no need for that. But I can tell Eamon's in angry form and Joe's indifferent, so I try one more time as the wee man's crying, making muffled sobs on the ground. And I say maybe we're losing sight of the cause, of who the real enemy is here, huh? Maybe the continuity movement should be focusing its efforts on the British state, huh? But the boys are having none of it. And Eamon makes some sort of smart-arse comment about, sure, why don't we phone the police and your wee sister can come down and sort it all out for us. Just because my wee sister had recently joined the PSNI. Look, says Joe, laying down the law as usual. Until we get rid of the British presence in Ireland, only ourselves can deal with these problems in our own communities. Eamon comes over to me, takes the hurley stick out of my hand, goes right over to the wee man and just starts laying into him, smashing his legs over and over and over and over again. Fuck's sake, Eamon, that's enough. I looked to Joe for some backup, but Joe's just standing there half smirking at the wee man like, oh, there's nothing I can do. And he looks like he might even be enjoying this. And Eamon, he takes this as a sign to keep going. He just keeps laying into the wee man's legs like a man possessed until the wee man finally passes out from the pit. Only then does Eamon finally stop. And he stands over the wee man, says to him, I'm lying there out for the count, not even able to hear. Next time, stay out of trouble. Eamon and Joe smile at each other. Joe comes over, stubs his fag out, spits, and says, let's go for a pint, French open. And the wee cub, he's a wee bollocks, alright, but who isn't at that age? We'll not have much of a life now. brutal. In a quiet pub, I've no wee think to myself. Gorka's away home, just sent me over a pint. I don't know who they are. Anyway, it doesn't matter a fuck. Cheers. Sláinte. Fair play to you. Yeah, whatever the fuck, you know. Probably knew me dad. See, me dad was well known around here. Sometimes it's like I can still feel his presence. Like he's here now. Like those fellas have just sent over a pint for him, not me. It's like he's a ghost that follows me around. I swear to fuck, I know that sounds stupid, but sometimes it's like I'm trying to be like him. Live up to him. Be him. My dad was called Shawnee. And he was a member. He was on active service. People that knew him always tell me he was one of the bravest men you could ever meet. He'd have done anything for the cause. He'd no fear in him of anybody or anything. It's funny because my dad grew up with Eamon's dad. And Eamon's dad was involved too. You see, me and Eamon, we grew up together. Funny how things work out, isn't it? We lived in the same street, we went to the same school, we did everything together. Fuck's sake, if you saw one of us, the other one was never that far behind. The only problem was, Eamon's dad had turned informer, hadn't he? And we all know what happens to informers, don't we? So my dad, being dedicated to the cause, as his dad was before him, was selected for and gladly accepted, so I've been told, the job of executing Eamon's dad. Which he did. Bullet to the back of the head. Well, he was a traitor, wasn't he? Traitors get what they deserve. Eamon's dad should have put his family first. He should have put the country first. He should have put the cause first. Look after the country and the country will look after you. That's what I always used to say. Eamon's dad should have been 100% dedicated or never have gotten involved at all. Anything less than that will just not do. So who cared about Eamon's dad? Eh? No one. Except maybe Eamon. But he was too young to know what was going on. But later on, when he understood, he soon knew the score himself. And it wasn't long before he joined up. Me and him together. We couldn't wait to do our bit for the cause. It was all you could do. There wasn't much of a choice around here. There was a war on. There's still a war on. Aye. Aye. Sláinte, Mugger. Nice one. Like a virgin? No. It's the one where the black fella had sex with the Virgin Mary. Oh, the black fella had sex with the Virgin Mary? You're out for fucking good onions. No, it's true. It's called like a prayer. Write that down, you fuck! We're in a wee pub in Dunglow, having a wee swally, and we've been roped into the pub quiz. But we're also keeping an eye on the TV in the corner. We're waiting for the news to come on, and I am a wee bit on edge. In which month and year did marriages between same-sex couples become legally recognised in Ireland? There's a question for you, Joe. If anybody here is an expert on being gay, it's you, Eamon. Everybody knows you're as fucking bent as a bag of chips. What the fuck? Shh! The news comes on. We listen. Ears cocked. And sure enough, It's not good. You see, the boys had decided to target Gavin McLaughlin, a well-known local Gaelic footballer, an Irish speaker who had just recently joined the PSNI. The only problem is, my wee surprise doesn't detonate. Mandy survives. So no, it's not good news at all. And the looks of disappointment on the boys' faces soon turn to accusing stares as the questioning begins. At first it's all joking and playful, with Eamon taking the lead in his own wee innocent way as he starts to slag him with the Butterfingers business. But the jokes soon give way to vaguely disguised warnings, and even Eamon looks worried when Joe gives me one of those cold stares of his and asks me if I'm trying to turn us into some sort of fucking laughing stock and if I've got fucking feet for hands, and then he tells me you better fucking tighten up. I repeat the next question from the quiz in an effort to lighten the mood. Joe obviously doesn't like my deflection tactics, and there's a silence. Joe's allowing time for the message to sink in. We're going to miss the next few questions from the quiz. But I remain dutifully silent with my head suitably bowed in a thinking manner, not too much, just enough to acknowledge the seriousness of Joe. Some contrite reflection is required. And in the silence between us, I'm thinking that I don't really blame them. All they see is me, happy with Gorka, backing off from punishment beatings, and now a bomb fails to go off. And I know what they're thinking. They're wondering if it's deliberate. Why I made a dud. Eh? If I'm going soft. If Gorka is softening me up. But at the same time, all I see is Joe acting about man, and Eamon getting more and more distant, more and more brutal, more and more drunk, more and more resentful of Gorka, more resentful of me and Gorka. Anyway, the message has been received loud and clear in the silence. But just to reinforce things, Joe puts his arm around my neck, he brings me close, he's uncomfortably close. Seriously, Pádraig. Don't fuck up again. No room in our game for big softies. Understande? Comprende? Well, talk about your strong words being softly fucking spoken, eh? He takes his arm away. And he claps his hands together, once, really hard, really loud, and rubs them together. The sermon is over. As is the quiz. And it turns out Madonna's first UK #1 was, in fact,
Like a prayer.
Into the Groove, baby! Into the fucking groove! I think we were all genuinely surprised to hear that. It's not one that particularly stands out, especially when you think Madonna's back catalogue. Needless to say, our team, the Three Green Fields, comes last. But it's the taking part that's important. And then Joe finally declares, it's my round, determined not to put a dampener on what promises to be an evening of great fucking crack altogether. Aye. I ought to keep them happy. Take away any doubts about my commitment. Softy. Oh, bollocks. I'll leave the device ready for Joe and Eamon. They know to collect it in the usual place. And this one is guaranteed not to fail. Then I go to Gorka's flat for a few nights. We usually go out for a bite to eat, a few drinks, and then back to her place for a night of, well, you know. You alright, man? No, I'm at Gorka's, but I'll be over as soon as I can. I make me excuses to Gorka and go looking for the bastards. Pick up a gun and keep hidden in my garage and tear across the city in my car. And to the tune of the engine, and I have her very finely tuned. I start thinking, and I'm thinking all they needed was a good excuse, and maybe I should have even seen this coming. That it was inevitable, logical even. You see, my sister Deirdre, unlike me, she believed in the peace agreement. Her reasoning was logical. The majority voted for it. It's what the people wanted. But I insist that the blood sacrifice of Republicans over the years has to amount to more than what the people voted for now. That you can't discount history. Anyway, Deirdre, she put her money where her mouth was and joined the PSNI. Well, that's where my sister and I completely disagreed. So be it. Families are often split apart over these things. But I should have known, by the way Eamon and Joe were talking, that it would only be a matter of time before she was next on their fucking list. I just didn't think they would go this far. And something's telling me it was Eamon's bright idea. And obviously Joe's given the final go-ahead. But with him being the driver, wouldn't he have to drive Eamon to Deirdre's house to plant the fucking thing? Aye! So Joe's in on it too, up to his fucking neck and beyond. I'm rushing to Joe's flat, he's waiting for me. I'm too angry and too much of a rush and they get the better of me. Probably just as well. Eamon starts into his whole shade about the cause this and the cause that. Joe's just standing there quietly, looking over everything, gun in hand. And of course I demand to know why. Why, Deirdre? And I can tell Eamon's half fucking pissed again as he starts into this old shit he's got rehearsed. He's gone over it in his head. Oh, it's a war. The cause, Pádraig. We all have to make sacrifices. And then the penny finally drops. It's not about the cause at all. It's because my dad killed Eamon's dad. And my dad is a hero to the cause. And my family are respected Republicans. Aye, respected. Because my dad was shot dead by the Brits. He sacrificed his life totally for the cause. And Eamon knows that somehow he'll always be looked down upon because his dad was a grass, a tout, a traitor. And no matter what sacrifice he ever makes, it'll never be good enough. He's tainted. Aye. Him and his purity. Or a Joe. Joe and his purity, Joe and his fucking punching and his fucking pure lines of dissent and his fucking chucking. Because Joe's always in the wings, pulling the strings, and Eamon's always there, dancing to his tune, and it's only now I see clearly what a bastard Joe is too. Purity of the cause, eh? Joe is rotten to the core. Well, as we stand there in the silence, with about 14 elephants in the room, Joe finally declared, "It's nothing personal, Pádraig. It's political." Well, that finally puts some much needed fucking clarity in the situation, doesn't it? And as for Eamon, oh, I see even more as I'm stood, held at gunpoint by Don Corleone. I look around Eamon's flat and I see a picture of him and his ma on the wall, alongside a picture of James Connolly, and a framed 1916 proclamation, and no evidence whatsoever of his dad. The shame Eamon is carrying around with him, because his dad was shot for being a tout, is what's weighing him down, and there's no sign of a woman's touch anywhere. Oh, I see it all so fucking clearly now. He's lonely. He's angry. He's ashamed. That's why he can't stand seeing me with Gorka. Together, enjoying ourselves, having a laugh. Why? I'm in love with her, and he can't fucking stand it. Well, there's not much time to think. There's the practicalities. Deirdre's funeral. My ma. Deirdre's husband, Kieran, they deal with. No. Just have to try and stay calm, get through the wake and funeral as best as I can. There'll be time to think later. Of course the wake's packed. People have come from far and wide. Family, of course, but also old friends and new ones. I'm sitting talking to Kieran, and he's asking me, of all people, how the bastards could do it. But he's not to know exactly who the bastards are, is he? Well, I say to him, I don't know, Kieran. I don't fucking know. I've been topping up on the whiskey all morning just to help me get through it. And the mourners just keep coming. And then, sure as fuck, I hear the two voices being welcomed at the door by my ma. I knew they would probably show up. I'm just not surprised for the shock I feel when they actually do show their faces. I guess I'm thinking deep down, surely they wouldn't show up here. In my ma's house, surely they wouldn't have the gall to show their faces. But maybe I should know better. Like Joe said, it's nothing personal. I'll move to a position in the living room where I can see if it really is that. Surely the fuck it is. And it's like I'm underwater. Like I'm drowning. And all around me I can hear bits and pieces of the mourners' conversations. Oh, it's a pity the poor wee creator. Sure, what did they be killing each other for anyway? And her and Pádraig were so close. Oh, he'll miss her alright. I can see my ma putting on a brave face. She tells Gorka to go and get Eamon and Joe a drink. And she brings the drinks over to them. My eyes meet Eamon and Joe's for the first time. For what seems like a minute, but it can only be a split second. And I have to get out of there quick. For I need fresh air. I feel I can't breathe. I can feel the whiskey in my stomach reaching for my throat. I push through the mourners thinking I'm going to poke all over the place, out into the kitchen, into the back garden, work with people on my own, get myself together, think, and most of all, breathe. It's night time. Thanks be to Jesus, it's all died down for a while. And I finally threw up in the toilet. My ma hears me. You alright in there, son? We're the last two left in the house, apart from Kieran. He's asleep downstairs on the sofa. I'm grand, ma. Aye. You should get some sleep for the morning. And she asks me if Gork is away home, and I say aye, she is, and I'm going to bed now myself. And then I turn around and I look at my ma's face, and I notice just how old and battered she looks. Never really noticed that before. She goes off back to bed. But I don't go back to bed myself. I go to the weight room, where Deirdre's coffin is. Of course it's a closed coffin, and it would have to be, she would have been. Stare at the coffin, and I begin to think, and for some reason I start to pray. Force of habit, snap out of that quickly. For believe you me, the man above would have some shock if he saw me standing knocking his door in my hour in need. So I spare him the embarrassment. But the tiredness, the drink, and all the events catch up with me. I fall asleep. And I start to dream. And I see Deirdre's face. Clear as day. And she seems happy. But I look closer. She's as white as a ghost. I reach out to touch her face. It's cold. Like one of those statues you see made out of marble. Her pure white forehead starts bleeding. She's wearing a crown of thorns. She's on a cross. She opens her mouth to scream, but it's more like the wail of a banshee or some fucking thing. I hear these voices all around me. Blood sacrifice, the cause, Irish freedom. She's wearing a blood-soaked tricolour drape round her shoulders, and she falls. Down! 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 She lands in her coffin with a thud. The lid slams shut. I jump awake in the darkness, sweating like mad. My forehead soaking down the back of my neck, drenched, breathing heavily in the darkness, in the silence, opposite Deirdre's coffin, in the darkness, in the silence. next morning, I'm at Deirdre's funeral, and here we all are up in the front few rows as the priest says the funeral mass. The sermon seems to be going on forever, and it doesn't help that I know Eamon and Joe were sitting right behind me, and if there is a God up above, only he can see what the real situation here is. Well, him, me, Eamon and Joe to be precise. I'm glad of a few whiskies in me, I can tell you. It's helping numb things, but the sickness is still there. Never far from my throat. And just as I'm wondering if this priest is going for the world record in long-distance funeral masses, he invites us all to offer one another the sign of God's peace. God really knows how to fucking rub it in, I can tell you. So now I have to shake hands with everybody as a sign of peace. So I turn to Gorka first, the easiest one. Peace be with you. Mima. Peace be with you. Kieran. Peace be with you. And so on, and so on, and so on. But eventually, there's no escaping it. I have to turn around and shake hands with Joe and Eamon. And there they are, waiting with their hands out. By now, I'm on the brink as I'm invited by God above to turn the other cheek. I shake their hands. But as they say, peace be with you, I find myself unable to speak. Fuck me. When the mass is ended, the coffin's carried out of the chapel. Some PSNI colleagues at Deirdre's help carry it out. Times they are a-changing as the song goes, so fast and so quick. It's like a dam's burst, can't be stopped. Of course, the burial's grim. Only thing missing is the rain. If it would just fucking pish down, this would be the perfect funeral. The priest says the funeral prayers. As Deirdre's coffin is lowered at last into her final resting place. And my ma bursts into hysterics. Deirdre, no! Not my wee Deirdre! My only wee girl, my beautiful wee daughter! Deirdre, no! She nearly falls into the grave. Kieran's standing there with his head in his hands. And I just look away. So it's all back to the pub for drinks and sandwiches. And admittedly, I'm getting well oiled. I'm drinking too much, too fast. I must have pure alcohol for blood by now. And over there, in the crowd, is Eamon and Joe, watching the TV. There's a news report on about a suicide bombing in Kabul. Eamon makes some sort of joke about it. And they both laugh. I can't fucking stand it. I lash out at him. We knock over chairs, tables, there's bottles, glasses smashing everywhere. We have to be pulled apart. My uncles take me outside to calm me down. My ma comes out in tears again, saying what have I got against him, saying I should have more decorum. And then she tells me if it's affected me that much, maybe I should take myself away somewhere for a while. She has to be consoled. And as my uncles lead her back inside, She looks like she might collapse there and then if they don't hold her up by the arms tight enough. Yes, of course I feel bad. I'm not a total cunt. Alas. Peace. Fresh air. The ocean. Aye, there's nothing like the ocean to put you in your place. It makes you feel so small. It's making me feel like a right Pádraig Devlin. Gorka's going back to Spain at the end of the week. And since I needed to get away, we've hired a wee cottage in Donegal for the week. It is, as they say, just what the doctor ordered. At first, we just go down to the local bar every night and join in the Keeley sessions. And I keep drinking, trying to forget everything. But I get a sickener of it, and after a few sober days, things start to get clearer. We usually lie on in the mornings and then make ourselves some breakfast and then sit, talk, eat before going for a walk, usually along the beach. Wind in your face, smell of the sea in the air. There must be something in that smell because, see, to tell you the truth, I can feel myself getting a wee bit lovey-dovey. It's just good being together, you know. But we both know what's coming. And for a long time now, she's been on at me to go back to Spain with her. You'd be very welcome, she says, as we dry ourselves off from a swim. There'll be somewhere for you to stay till you get yourself sorted. My brother says you'll find work as a mechanic easily. Sounds great. But of course, it's out of the question. I'm still committed to the cause. So I just pretend that I'm a wee home bird. I can't leave the city I love, the people I grew up with. Huh? Can't leave my ma. Not now. Especially when she needs me the most. I almost believe everything I say. The next morning, after a night I'll never forget, we're lying in bed. Naked, quiet, peace, holding hands. I'm footering this wee bangle she always wears. Never really noticed the detailing on it, but now I can see that it's a snake's head, made to look like it's eating its own tail. She says that she got it on holiday in Greece one time. It's a Ouroboros. What's that when it's at home? The snake eats itself endlessly in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth. It kills itself in order to keep itself alive. What's the matter? You don't like it? It's some bangle if it says all that. I tell her that it reminds me of the story of St. Patrick and how he drove all the snakes out of Ireland. Yeah, she says. And now all you Irish are content to drink Guinness every year in celebration. You want to hear a joke? What did St. Patrick say as he was driving the snakes out of Ireland? He goes, all right in the back there, lads. She takes my arm. She puts the bangle on my wrist. Since I have to go back to Spain, and since you refuse to come with me, keep this as a reminder. Actually, we rise, have a big fry up, and we hit the road back to Derry, get her to the airport. The intercom announces that the gate for Gorka's flight is now open for boarding. The time has finally come. And of course, she's pleading one last time for me to get the next flight out. She says she'll wait for me at the airport. I'm tempted. Believe you me. Huh? Get on a plane, go to Spain, start a whole new life. But people like me don't run away. Can't run away. How can we? Look, the truth is, I should never have gotten involved with her in the first place. How was I to know how it was going to end up? I thought it was just going to be a quick fling. These visitors to Derry, they don't really know the crack. And if you turn the charm on to some of these tourists, especially the younger ones who are a bit naive, well, they're an easy touch. It's all well and good saying that now. How can you tell a woman that you love that you can't be together? How do you do that, eh? So as she goes to board the plane, I produce the goodbye gift. It's a small box, can only be one thing. She takes it and opens it. It's a ring. I take the ring in her hand. This is a claddagh ring. You give this to someone who's very special to you. And some people, when they're going to spend the rest of their lives together, they wear it with the heart pointing up the ways, towards their heart. But if you don't have someone special, someone you're engaged to, someone you're going to spend the rest of your life with, then you wear it with the heart pointing down the way. That means you're footloose and fancy free. She takes the ring, puts it on. Well done, she says. It fits. The intercom announces the final call for boarding. The big smile underneath the big eyes, underneath the big hair. I take Gorka's hand, look at the ring. She's wearing it with a heart pointing upwards towards her heart. So I look her right in the eyes, I take the ring off, and I put it back on with a heart pointing down the ways. And that's how we part. Does she look back as she goes to board the plane? I wouldn't know, because I don't look back. I just walk on, march straight out of that airport, not even looking back once. Why? Derry's a small place. You can't avoid people for too long. It's a nightmare if two people don't get along, let alone two communities. But anyway, now I've had my time to think. I've figured a few things out. And I've eventually accepted what I have to do. And I wear Gorka's bangle as a reminder. I'm in a wee hovel of a pub that me and the boys would never normally darken the doorstep of. And look who's just walked in with the man himself. Joe. He sees me. Nods in recognition. He comes over. taking a pint? I'll go on then. He orders, and as the drinks settle, we stand in silence while the other stragglers in the pub shoot pool and listen to the jukebox. Any crack at all? Nah, it's all quiet these days. The pints arrive. We sit down. And after a rocky start and a few more pints, we're back at it like nothing had ever happened. And before I know it, he's telling me a story about landing over to Eamon's house this morning, only to find him completely hungover and his clothes fucking bugging. Sure didn't he buy himself a Chinese last night, but he was too drunk to eat it. He fell asleep on the sofa on top of it. The pints come thick and fast. It's funny how quick you can fit back into something, like a hand back into a glove, or more to the point, a head into a balaclava. Eventually we have what you might call a mano a mano. And I tell him that I totally understand what you meant. What are you on about? You know, about Deirdre, when you said it wasn't personal. Oh, that. I knew you'd eventually see sense, Pádraig. Do you know how I knew you'd eventually see sense? Because it's in your blood. It's in your blood. It's in your dad's blood. It's in my blood. We can't be ruled. We understand the price of freedom. He takes his arm away and orders another round. Shorts this time, and I tell him, well, confess might be a better word, that Gorka was a total mistake, a diversion that took my eye off the ball. Come here to tell you something, Pádraig. Come here to tell you. You see, women, they're all the same when you turn them upside down. They've all been split by the same hatchet. There's a silence. Then we burst out laughing. I don't even know what I'm laughing at. But it doesn't matter. All that matters is I knew Joe would come looking for me eventually. Just had to be patient. And yes, I'm fucking glad he's here, alright? We drink the freedom. The freedom. We drink and we clink. And I wink drunkenly at Joe as I say, you're right, Joe. You're spot on. I can't be ruled. And it all goes well. It all goes very well indeed. I get what I was hoping for from Joe. What I needed. Absolution for my sins against Joe, against Eamon, of deviating, of watering down, of losing sight of the cause. But most of all, I know I will be allowed back into the fold now. Prodigal son returns. Not long after that, our wee gang is back in operation. And I'm back in Joe's car with him and Eamon. Hand in glove. Absolved. Accepted. Like nothing had ever happened. Joe asks me how it's all been going, because I've been beavering away for our next mission, which Joe assures me is going to be a big one. The mission, the end of all missions by the sounds of Joe. Never one to lack ambition in his own way. So I tell him, as far as devices are concerned, Hiroshima won't have a fucking look in compared to what I'm making. This seems to make him happy. And Eamon laughs. He's in good form in the back there as Joe drives us through a wee market town. We laugh and joke and chat. Then Joe notices the beads of sweat on my forehead. I tell him I've been drinking too much, just the alcohol sweats. But in fairness, I'm actually not feeling too well at all. I think I'm going to be sick. My eyes are going all fuzzy. Eamon sees me rubbing the bangle, and he jokes that I'm missing the wee woman. And we all laugh. But then Joe pulls the car over to the side of the road. There's something not fucking right with you, Pádraig. Oh. I do not feel well at all. And sure enough, my heart is going 90 to the dozen. I'm unsure about the whole thing. I'm getting claustrophobic. Joe grabs me by the fist. What the fuck are you playing at, Pádraig? Easy on there, Joe, the man just needs a wee drink. Joe looks beneath my coat. He looks at me, puzzled. He feels my stomach. Pulls up on my shirt. There's only one way to end the nightmare, and that's to break the cycle once and for all, so that we can start again. Like St. Patrick, I thought I would remove the last and deadliest snake from Ireland. Aye. Stop the nightmare. Kill the Ouroboros. We stare at each other. I don't know what Joe's thinking, but I can tell he's helpless. He knows the game's up. It's all over. I've got these bastards by the balls, and at last, I'm going to be free. All I have to do is press this. Aye. A split second can seem like a minute, like you're in slow motion. I have to do it. I have no choice. My sister. But this might bring an end to it all. My dad did what he had to do. Eamon and Joe did what they had to do. And now, I have to do what I have to do. And I look at Joe, and his eyes are as big as saucers from fear. And I just about managed to get the words out. It's not political, Joe. It's personal.